For some women, the biggest threat to their safety doesn't really come from a stranger. It can come from someone they know. In that moment, experts say your body can do one of two things. You can fight or you can freeze. In today's Aging Untold Extra, Tisha Powell takes us to a self-defense class designed to help women build confidence and know what to do if they're ever in danger.
Most important thing is going to be knee strike.
Janetta Wells came to this women's self-defense class with her best friend and her goddaughter who's going to college.
Just understanding the risks that are out there in the world, and I just don't want her to be afraid. I want her to be prepared instead of reacting in the situation.
That's the goal here, preparation. Aging Untold expert Catherine Ambrose says self-defense starts before anyone lays a hand on you.
The best self-defense starts before contact ever happens. It's about situational awareness, trusting that uncomfortable feeling, and giving yourself permission to leave or say no.
The class teaches simple moves like using the heel of the palm to strike upward toward the nose or chin.
One of the techniques that we teach is a knee strike.
Ambrose says self-defense matters at every age, but especially for older adults who may feel more physically vulnerable.
Self-defense for older adults is really about empowerment. Not being a fighter, but just knowing that you have options, using your voice, your intuition, and moving more confidently through the world.
Some moves are simple and practical. If someone grabs your wrist, instructors teach you to pull against the thumb, then get away fast. And Ambrose says the benefits go beyond safety.
A good self-defense class can help people practice balance, coordination, and quick decision-making in a safe setting. For older adults, those skills matter, not just in an emergency, but in everyday life for confidence and mobility.
And for Janetta, it's not about fear, it's about power. And experts say that kind of confidence can make all the difference at any age.
If this interests you, you can watch Aging Untold right here on KLTV and KTRE. The show airs every weekday afternoon.